Hello, viewers. Welcome once again to Rising Sun Online Math class. If your first time to watch my video, kindly hit on the red button so that you'll be seeing a notification whenever a new video is uploaded. So previously, we have been discussing quadratic equation, at which I've been using some methods. The first method I used was a factorization method. So the second method was completing the square method. And today we want to use the third method, at which I titled Nnamdi Kalu's formula method. So briefly, I'm going to show you how I derive the formula. The formula we are going to be used to solve this equation. I'm going to show you how I derive it. So you can go back to my previous videos and see how I explained it in details about this formula. So let's proceed and see how I derive this. I titled Nnamdi Kalu's formula method. So here you have an squared plus bn plus c as equals to 0. Yes, this is a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation. And because of the work this quadratic equation does, so I decided to derive this and rename it after Nnamdi Kalu formula method. So let's derive this formula and see how we're going to see it. So here we have an squared plus bn plus c as equals to 0. Here we have n squared and we have n here. The coefficients of n squared here now is a, and the coefficient of n here is b, and we have a constant called what? C. In this case, and we're after to make n the subject of the formula, to make Nnamdi Kalu the subject of the word formula, so that he can stand alone. So here, before we can be able to make here n the subject of the formula, you cross this constant, which is c. So here now becomes an squared plus bn is equals to minus c. You have crossed these positives to meet to 0. You converted it to minus what? C. So the next thing you need to do now is we make this n squared to be a single unit by dividing it by a. So here you're going to divide this a to all other ones. Have a n squared divided by a plus bn divided by a equals to c over a. So here, because of our m is to make n the subject of the formula, here we have a, we cancelled a, we have n squared plus bn over a equals to minus c over a. So the next thing we need to do here now is this b over a, we multiply this b over a by half. And after multiplying the b over a by half, we squared it. And the reason why we are doing it so that we can make this n to form something like a perfect square, to make it look like a what? A perfect square. So here, if you are taking the coefficients of n here as b over a and multiply it by half, after then whatever you have, you square it. So we have b over a times 1 over 2, which is half. Here I gave us b times 1, you give us b all over a times 2, will give us 2a. So you squared it, which is b over 2a all square. Now this b over 2a all squared, we are going to use it to add this equation, both the left hand side and the right hand side. That will say that whatever you do at left hand side, you also do it at the right hand side. It is correct. So here becomes n squared plus bn over a plus this b over 2a all squared equals to minus c over a plus again b over 2a all squared. You have seen it. So the next thing you need to do now is you pair it. So pairing this, you have here as n plus b over 2a all squared. Because if I expand this bracket now, I will come back to this, which is equals to minus c over a plus b squared, b over 2a squared means b times b divided by 2a times 2a. And b times b gives me b squared all over 2a times 2a gives me 4a squared. So here, since we have gotten here as minus c over a plus b squared over 4a squared, we keep this one pending and concentrate on simplifying this first. So whatever you have here after simplification, we now compare it with this one. So let's simplify this one first. We have minus c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. So finding the LCM of these two denominators, we have it as 4a squared. So this a divided by 4a squared, here now the same thing as 4a times a all over a. This a we divide with a, have what? 4a. So this 4a now times minus c, we have it as minus 4ac plus 4a squared divided by 4a squared, we have 1. And 1 times b squared, we have it as what? B squared. So you can rewrite this one as now b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. So I'm going to take this now in place of this. So coming down here now, you have n plus b over 2a all squared equals to b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. So having gotten this to be b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. So the next thing you need to do now is you take the square root of both sides. You say taking the square root of both sides. Taking the square root of both sides, here now becomes, we have square root of n plus b over 2a all squared equals to, because of this square root, crossing this equality sign, coming plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, b squared minus 4ac all over, when you squared 4a squared, you have it as 2a. This 4a squared is the same thing as when you have square root of 4a squared. Here now becomes square root of 4 times square root of a squared. And you know that square root of 4 is the same thing as 2, or you write it as 2 raised to the power of 2, same thing as 4 times square root of a squared. So this square will cancel the root, and this one cancel this, leaving it with 2 times a, which is equals to what? 2a. That is how we come over this 2a. So there is no need of bringing this as 4a squared here, because I've already squared it direct, giving us what? 2a, as I showed you here. So having this, the next thing you need to do now, just bear in mind that our aim is to make n the subject of the formula, which is Nnamdi Kalu, to make it the subject of the formula. So here, the square here will cancel the root, leaving us with n plus b over 2a equals to plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac all over 2a. So fully making n the subject of the formula, which is n now, will be equals to crossing this plus b over 2a to make this, it will become n equals to minus b over 2a plus or minus square root of b square minus what? 4ac all over 2a. So because of here now I have 2a and here now I have 2a, they have common denominator. we take only 1. Our n now becomes equals to the common denominator of 2a and 2a is what? 2a. So this 2a now divided by 2a, I have 1. 1 times minus b, I have minus b. Now plus or minus, which is this one? Square root of this 2a divided by 2a is 1. Now 1 times all this, b squared minus 4ac. I have b squared minus 4ac. That will say that Nnamdi Kalu now is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That is the formula for Nnamdi Kalu. So whenever you are solving any problem that leads to quadratic equation, we are going to use this formula as Nnamdi Kalu equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, because the name alone is a solution to our problem. There is no any questions in quadratic equation. There is no how they bring the question in quadratic equation that this formula will not give you the what? The answer, because there is some questions that cannot be factorizable. So when you bring it to this Nnamdi Kalu's formula method, you must get an answer, because the name alone is a solution to our problem. It's a solution and also an answer to our problem. That is why I use his name to drive this formula. So finally, this formula now means, and here means Nnamdi Kalu equals to, he said, minus Biafra. The B here means Biafra. He said minus Biafra, life or dead. So you can see it that he said minus Biafra, life or dead, which is plus or minus means life or dead. So square root of b squared means that Biafra is the root of Africa. So anytime, any day Biafrans are free, probably Africans are going to be free. And b squared here means that Biafra is also a square to the whole world. And any place in the world you go and did not see any Biafra, my brother, run. Human being doesn't exist there. So coming down minus 4ac all over 2a here means that this minus now means that for amalgamation of Nigeria have expired. That is Nigeria, the amalgamation of Nigeria have expired. That is that minus have expired. That's finished. So for amalgamation of Nigeria have expired. Now, since Nigeria is no longer working, you say we should divide by what? 2. Divide Nigeria by 2. And this A here remains constant to tell us that there must be a division. No matter how they try to patch the country called Nigeria, there must be a division. This A here reminding this formula that there must be what? A division. So because there is no anything in common, we don't have anything in common to be together in Nigeria. We don't have the same culture, not the same language. Everything is abstract. So there is no need of staying together. So that is the reason why this 2A here is attached, to reminding each of every one of us that no matter how they try to patch Nigeria, there must be a leakage. And that leakage will cause the division, so that everybody will be free. And hence, Biafrans are free. Probably Africans are going to be free. My fellow brothers and sisters, I urge you that whenever you're solving any problem that leads to quadratic equation, please use this formula, Nnamdi Kalu's formula method. This name alone is a solution and also an answer to our problems. Thank you for viewing, and may God bless you.